The Sentencing Commission was created in 1993 to advise the legislature, the governor, and the Judicial Council on what sentences should be imposed and when people who are incarcerated should be released. It's made up of about 30 people who are appointed and have boots-on-the-ground knowledge of the criminal justice system. It includes prosecutors, defense attorneys, judges, police chiefs, victims' representatives, and the Department of Corrections. Altogether, they bring centuries of lived experience to the table, which is crucial if you're trying to create criminal justice policy that actually works. But the Sentencing Commission does more than advise and make recommendations. In reality, they have more influence over criminal sentencing than the legislature. Every few years, they draft a new set of sentencing guidelines that determine the presumptive sentence that an offender receives. At the heart of the guidelines is the Matrix. No, not the one with Keanu. It's made up of tables for different types of crimes. In each table, the rows correlate to different levels of criminal history, and the columns correlate with a category of crime. If you find the right row and the right column, you can determine the length of an offender's presumptive sentence and whether it consists of probation, jail, or prison. While judges are not legally bound to impose these presumptive sentences, there's a lot of institutional pressure to follow the guidelines, and judges rarely deviate from them. In practice, this means that even though the legislature has decreed that aggravated assault, sexual abuse of a 16-year-old, and drug possession with priors are all third-degree felonies punishable by up to 5 years in prison, the presumptive sentence for each of these crimes varies a lot. An offender with 11 points of criminal history will have a presumptive sentence of 90 days in jail followed by probation, a prison sentence of 42 months, or just probation, respectively, for those 3 crimes. Whether or not you substantively agree with the guidelines the Commission has created, it's concerning that so much power has been given to people who are both unelected and unaccountable. Most Utahns don't even know the Commission exists. If more people knew about the Commission, they could attend their meetings and comment on their proposals. Additionally, the Commission presents their proposed guidelines to a legislative committee for feedback, but at the end of the day, elected officials aren't giving a yes or a no vote to these guidelines. And there's no way for the public to vote someone out of office if they think the guidelines are way off base. Determining what behavior is criminal and what punishments are attached is a core function of government. And while stakeholders like the members of the Commission do make valuable contributions, their role should remain advisory. Ultimately, elected and accountable legislators should be determining what sentences the state doles out.